Hey everyone, my name's Ryan and this is Developers Garage. I want to welcome you all and thank you all for joining me. If you're watching me in the chat room live, say hey. And if you haven't followed, hit that follow button. That lets you know anytime I go live and anytime maybe I have an updated video out there for you to watch. It's a great way to catch up if you're not able to catch a stream. I have a few viewers that I know are stuck in meetings all day. One of the bad things that potentially about doing these streams during the daytime is most people whose job isn't to sit around and watch videos all day is they may get stuck in meetings. I know I get stuck in a lot of meetings here lately. But you know what? That free time, I like to use it to, like my lunch hour right now, I like to just get out there, break into some code, and just start writing and learning some new things. And that's what this stream is all about. This stream is all about learning and exploring new technologies and new things that are going on. Now, one thing I want to say, because you know what? I've been playing around with getting some sounds, getting everything set up. And you know what today is, guys and gals, and every developer out there, today is?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
That's right. It is Wednesday. What does that mean? That means it's the middle of the week. And for most of us, this is the hump day. This is the day that's the peak of our week. And every day after this, every hour after now is a downhill slide to the weekend. I myself, I look forward to the weekends and getting to spend time with my kids, my wife, my friends, my family, just doing other things besides work. I know a lot of people do. Unfortunately, here in Oklahoma, it looks like we may be in for a little bit of a rain this weekend. So maybe stuck inside, which means my kids are going to have cabin fever, which means I got to find something for them to do. But that's not why we're here. So if you're a .Net person or a Microsoft person, or you're not any of those and you've been living in a hole, yesterday was a big day for us, for developers who use the Microsoft stack, who use Microsoft tools in general. What happened yesterday was, and as you can see right there in my, you can't. I need to get you over there so you can see what's going on today. Let's get going here. Let's transfer over. All right. So as you can see over there in our agenda, yesterday was Visual Studio 2019's launch day. So if you've been watching this channel at any time, for any time, I've been using Visual Studio 19 in the preview mode, and then once they did the release candidate, I switched on over to the release. So I've been using it for, what is this? This is April now. About 3 total months I've been using it in preview and release mode. I've had a lot of good experiences with it. I will tell you, I ran into some issues when I brought up some legacy Xamarin code, some older stuff. I haven't tried that lately to see if that's been fixed. I may have to try that, but it's now in release. So what does that mean? Go out and update your Visual Studio IDE. They had a full launch day event yesterday where it was streamed live on Twitch. I think they did YouTube. I think they did it on Channel 9, their own streaming website. And now they've made it available on demand for anybody to watch. And so if you have not seen it, go watch it, especially the keynote. That was a very well thought out, put together keynote, one that's a little bit different, more different than what we're typically used to. Somebody getting on stage and somebody just sitting, or maybe sitting down at a desk, and especially when you're streaming. This was a put together video where they several scenes where they went around the Microsoft campus talking to the different PMs a little bit about what they did, what their teams had done as part of Visual Studio 2019. And then throughout the day, they had them all come back and they started talking about more in depth what those were. Again, if you've not seen it, take time, even if you're working all day, put it up on a side screen, put it up on your phone or something, just listen to it. Words are escaping me and coming out a little jumbled today. But, so what that means is, just put it up on there, watch it, listen for those keywords. That's what I typically do, because I have a day job. And it's very hard to keep up with everything that's changing in technology today. What I typically do, I put it up on a side screen, on a monitor, on a TV, something, and then I focus on my work. And when I hear something that piques my interest, I take a pause. It's always good to pause from work, refresh your brain, maybe get a new perspective on what you're looking at just by taking that break. So that's a little tip from me. So here's Visual Studio 2019. Go ahead, download it. The Community Edition. There's so much in the Community Edition as far as some of the new IntelliSense work that they've been doing. I mean, the gap between enterprise, professional, and community is getting much, much smaller. They're making more and more of the great features that come in some of those current paid versions available in the Community Edition. It's where a lot of the indie developers, a lot of people who are wanting to explore more, they don't have to. They don't have to pay for this subscription. Now, the cool thing that you get when you do buy a subscription is you get that support from Microsoft. You get that dedicated support, I should say. There's a little difference because you do get support now. You can blast it out on Twitter. A lot of the team members are monitoring. A lot of the community is monitoring and listening as well and can help you out there. What you get with paid stuff, you get the direct support from the people who are actually doing the work. So if you're an enterprise, obviously enterprise or professional, that's something you may want to invest in. If you don't want the heavy weight of the Visual Studio IDE, you get the Visual Studio Code update, which is a lightweight editor. It was written in TypeScript. It's an Electron app. It's fast. It's self-updating. It looks great. It functions excellent. And the awesome thing is it's extensible, which, Visual Studio is extensible anyways. You can build extensions for it, but so is code. So while it is lightweight and very minimalist, I guess is the best way to say it, you can go put plugins, extensions, install them in there to get some of the amazing features you already have in Visual Studio inside code, such as support for your favorite language. That is something. GitHub integrations, Azure integrations, all this cool stuff is available in code through extensions built by some by Microsoft. A lot of them been developed by the community. Visual Studio Azure DevOps, not Visual Studio. It used to be called Visual Studio Team Services. Now Azure DevOps. I don't agree with the name, especially because people are going to shorten it to ADO. If you're like me and who has been doing C# development or has been doing .NET development since the early framework days, ADO has a totally different meaning for you. Active Directory objects, database interactions, stuff like that. Not Active Directory. Is that what that's not what it means. ADO.NET. I think it's what it used to be. Whoa. Oh no, that's why I want to Google it. Actually, we're gonna use DuckDuckGo. I've seen some people using this. I've not used it much lately, but it's supposed to be they're not supposed to track you. A lot of the other places will. That's how they get your ads. DuckDuckGo does not do that. I've seen some people using it, so let's give it a shot here. ADO in .NET. What is ADO.NET? Come on. How far off was I here? Give me the explanation of what ADO means. Chat room, if you're listening and you know this answer, please help me out. Active Directory objects. That's what keeps popping into my mind, but that does not sound right. Let's go to what is ADO.NET. ADO, yes, I know it has to do with interactions with databases, but what does it stand for? Oh man, now it's killing me here. All right, let's go back. Let's go back here. I know, Ryan, you get sidetracked. It's just, it happens, but oh man.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I know, but some things just start bothering you. It's not Active Directory. That's ADO. What is ADO? ADO acronym. Not military. Let's just add .NET here. A little bit more focus. What is ADO? ActiveX data object. Thank you, guys. Lord. Oh, man. I hate it when that brain just stops working. It's like, you know it's there. You kind of know what it is, but ActiveX data object. That's what we're all used to coming from legacy. And sometimes when they announce that and people start putting the acronym, there were a lot of developers that I know that started banging their heads like, no, we're not going to call it that. But the acronym is coming. We're going to have to get over it. So, but I'm not sure. I'm still not sold on the name. I mean, it's changed from a couple different things, from Team Foundation Services to Visual Studio Team Services to now Azure DevOps, Azure Data Objects. Yeah, that's what it should be. And then Visual Studio App Center. This is something that really has me excited. It's been around for a little while, but allows you to do take your mobile applications, package them up, test them up in the cloud, gather data insights from your mobile applications in one spot. It's actually built on top of a lot of the Azure DevOps stuff that's already there. It's just in a nice, more convenient wrapper. Makes it easier to consume and use. But if you're a technical person, you want to know what's going on, you can do everything in App Center. I think almost everything in App Center. Some things you can't. Inside Azure DevOps. I'm sure there's some secret sauce in there. But it's just a nice, more convenient, quicker way to get up and going with some of this delivering your applications. Oh, awesome thing. Being able to take your iOS and Android app and just publish them from here, from Visual Studio App Center to the app stores, respective app stores. That's something that you weren't able to do before this. You probably were. It was very difficult. A lot of times you may package it out into a CI/CD, have a pipeline going, but then you'd have to pull down that result from the build and push it out to the different app stores from somebody's computer. You can do all that from Visual Studio App Center now. You can now take that, I got to have Jerry over here. He's got to be here so we can deploy that app. Nope. Visual Studio App Center. Now it's just making sure the right people have the right controls set in place and they can hit the go button and get that application out there without making one person the linchpin. All right. So I think we covered Visual Studio 2019. There are some awesome things. One of the great things that I've not done yet that maybe we can try here soon is live share. That way you, the viewer, can follow along live. It's only going to work live. You can follow along live, see what I'm doing on your IDE, follow me through without having to download the project and get everything set up on your machine. You can just follow my development through. Maybe we'll try that here in a little bit. I'll have some of the other things we were talking about last time on stream. Hack. Oh man, I'm getting some drop frames here. Oh, this is not good. Minute, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, something. OBS is running hot. One of the suggestions from our friend Rambling Geek last time was to, hey Ryan, go ahead and just plug that in, hardwired in. As you can tell, probably a little bit, I am running on wireless. Now, I am running on wireless, but what the viewer sees is actually my development machine. My streaming machine is sitting right next to me, and I'm basically remote desktop into my dev machine, trying to keep this streaming machine as light as possible. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work, but we're going to give it a go. Oh, back to what I was saying. Rambling Geek said, hardline that, plug it in. And one of the things I'm running on is Surface Book, and it's got a very limited number of ports on it. So what does that mean? They're all taken up right now. There is no dedicated Ethernet port, and so he sent me an awesome link for an Anchor Ethernet adapter, which has 3 USB ports in it. So that's on order. It'll actually be here today. Unfortunately, not here in time for this stream, but it will be here for the streams coming up. We learned a little bit about this. Let's go to this product here. One of our viewers, Jeff, one of our experienced, just for you, Jeff, your experienced chat room chatters here. Chatty chat. Come on, Ryan, spit it out. Sent us, I think it was Jeff. If somebody else sent it, my bad. It may have been Jacques who'd sent it to us. Anyways, an awesome $300 laptop that your kids can get started with coding, hacking away. It's lightweight. It's got enough power for them to get started here. I mean, a full AC display, 64 gigs solid state. I mean, kids nowadays don't need terabyte drives. You don't want them storing and hiding a whole bunch of stuff. All-day battery, that's a key thing. 4 gig of memory, perfect for getting started development. Few weeks ago, probably a month or so ago now, I started getting my son into a little bit of raw HTML. Not using an IDE, using Notepad. I made him go old school and just showed him how to take that HTML page and just pop it in a browser and so he could see what he's doing. Do a little bit of JavaScript to make the dinosaur on the page spin. He thought that was pretty cool. And then something else caught his attention, and now he's off doing that. We'll come back to it. But this may be something I look at getting him so he has his own laptop he can start working on. One of the cool things is he's getting into Minecraft, so it will run Minecraft. So we'll have to see how things go. All right. Ooh. The allergies, as storms and stuff come rolling into this area, my allergies just go nuts. It's one of those days just don't want to work much. But and the other thing, every Wednesday, Steve Smith, also at @RDallas, on Twitter, on Twitch, on I think even YouTube. You can find him out there. Go find his website. Sign up for his newsletter. Every week he provides some awesome bits of information on just some random tips. This is dev tip number 155. He's done 155 of these. 9 times out of 10, his tip actually has something to do with the work that I'm currently doing. Had him on here a few weeks ago. Yeah, I think he is stalking me. So I think he knows what I'm doing. He's kind of gotten in here. But that's okay, Steve. That's okay. Now, this is his tip of the day. He's talking about Visual Studio 2019. Got links here to, let's see if I can do this. Let's paste this into the chat room here so my fellow chatters can see this awesome link here. You can go to this link, just pull it up. You can check it out. And find out what he's got going on. And you got the links to a bunch of videos covering everything we just talked about with 2019. He also does Pluralsight courses, as well as some awesome blog posts and articles on clean code architecture, which is something that every developer needs to learn and get experience with. Fear not. If you are a new developer, you know what? At least get to know the words and the concepts. You may not be able to implement them, but hey, it's something that your peers should be starting to instill in you. And if you are a senior developer and you're not looking at the architecture and making it clean and concise, shame on you. It is our job to make sure things stay maintainable. We do have a fine line we walk between maintenance and speed, maintainability and speed. So, but it is something that should always be in the forefront of our mind as we're designing new systems, even going in and adding new features and resolving them. Like the Boy Scouts say, leave the camp cleaner than when you found it. Same thing goes for code. You're in there, you're fixing something. I prefer dirty code architecture. Hey, welcome, Jacques. welcome, welcome, welcome. I thought I had something here for you. Here.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There you go. A little Kool-Aid man for you, Jockeries. Dirty code architecture. See, I dealt a lot with a lot of that. That makes you feel dirty at the end of the day. I've been into some code. It does. But you know what? Somebody was in there. Somebody had to get something out, I'm guessing. But what we can do, we can go make things better, right? That's what we're here for. We're here to learn. Solid. If you're not familiar with Solid, let's do a quick look up on that. Maybe let's go to his links. Let's see what he says here. So this is a link to the Pluralsight course. So guess what? It's okay. You got to pay for it typically, but it is worth it. This course is definitely worth it. But when we talk about solid principles, what are we talking about? I don't want that. There's what I want right there. Solid principle. So I always get them wrong, but it starts out the single responsibility principle, open close principle, Liskov substitution principle. See, this is the I and the D are usually what gets me confused, but the I is the interface segregation principle. By the way, I'm just reading it off of here. I know the first three and the last one, that I is really what gets me. I typically start going for, what do I call it? The inversion of control. That's what I try to say it. But that's directly related to the D, which is dependency injection principle, dependency inversion principle. See, I don't get them all right. I'm peeking there. I can see those. So those are the things you need to, as a developer, start learning, starting to try and understand. Question your peers. Question your leads. Ask them, hey, are we doing this? Do you understand this? Help them help you. As well as if they don't, it's a good way to get them kind of saying, well, my junior devs are asking me these questions. It's probably something I need to know. And it is. So, all right. So we talked about that. We talked about Steve's tips here. So I'm going to paste this back in. I don't know if the chat room can see the chat history, but you know what? I'm going to paste this link back in. So you want to find out more about what's going on, what we just talked about, and get this link right now, go for it. Check out the Visual Studio 2019 stuff. It was an amazing event yesterday. And it's going to take me about 2 to 3 weeks to even just process everything that was gone over in that full day's worth of mini not workshops, but mini sessions. There's just so much I want to try and play with. Interface segregation. I do too much. Should be I read and I write. I read and I write. Dependency inversion. I shouldn't know my dependency. Caller passes in. Look at that. Our fearless leader. And I've yet to get you your own sound. I've got it coming, Sean. Sean W.R. Sean Whitesell, our fearless leader of the Tulsa Dotnet developers user group. And they're giving us some nuggets himself.
It's going to be legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
That's right. When Sean starts speaking, everybody needs to listen. No sound needed. I make too many now. Oh, Sean. You can never have too many sounds. But you are going to get it. As soon as I can find it and get it added to my board, I will. All right, so we talked about that. So let's get back to our project here. Let's get back to our GitHub. What are we working on here? So github.com, Devs Garage. What we're working on here, we're working on the Tulsa.net user group's website. We're going to make it much better than what it was. And we're going to use some of the bleeding edge technology that's coming out that is now readily available with Visual Studio 2019 and .NET Core 3. Preview 3, I think, is what we're still using. But we use a repo here. I think I even have a fancy little bot thing here, a little garage bot going on here. So if you check your chat room, you've got the you can just hit the bang repo exclamation point repo. I'm going to call it what it should be. If you ever want to know what repo we work from, that way you can just click it instead of having to try and remember it and how to get to it. So there's the repo we're working out of, Tulsa DNUG website. And we have 2 branches currently out there, dev and master. Is dev supposed to be there? I don't remember. I think so. I think it's what we said. We'll take everything into dev, and then from dev, we'll make sure it works, and then we'll pull it into master. I think that's kind of where we were going with that. And then we have, where are you? There they are, issues. Having these 2 bars, my eyes just go right to this bar here, and it misses the stuff up there. Issues. So we're going to go over these issues real quick. So decide on DB tech stub. Oh, look at this. Jeff's out there adding some stuff for us. Decide on database technology and stub it out. SQL Azure seems obvious choice, yeah. Local DB, I'm not a big fan of those. NoSQL, which flavor? Why not? Why not try them all out? Try different ones. There's Mongo, Couchbase, the document DB built into Azure. I'm sure there's others out there that are supported, but I kind of leaning a little bit towards possibly the document database because I don't really need the relationships. We're not really going to be doing a lot of reporting, I don't think. The man with the plan, Sean Whitesell, may have different ideas, but a document database seems like it would be the perfect layout for this. Have everything stored in easily consumable JSON already. We can edit it that way. But we'll see. We'll explore. We'll test things out. All right. Let's go back to our issues here. How to be a sponsor page. So what I'm going to do, we're going through some of the comments that were left here. So Jeff, happy to help but need clarification. I usually do middle tier back end, and this was 11 days ago. So I think we may have answered some of this last week. Do you want to include a form to allow someone to sign up as a sponsor? What do you want to do with sign up pages? DocDB just fine. Thanks, Sean. I like that idea as well. I think we should start looking a lot of, at least even in my group, I think a lot of the work that we do can easily just be a document database somewhere. We tend to try to lean towards SQL because that's what we've used for decades. That's what everybody's comfortable with. We're not here to be comfortable, are we? No. No. All right. So, Jeff Johnson, that was me. No sign up for now. Sponsors will have an email address for them. I need to set that up. So let's go and add that here. So for now, no sign up page. There will be a contact email to get in touch. Let's see, at Sean Whitesell to set up the email account. There we go. All right. Email newsletters. Is there an API for this list manager? Could we do a better integration than just dump onto a sign up page? So, there's room for improvement here. So that is certainly something we could do, but here, my thoughts on this, let's get it working with kind of the feature parity, and then we can improve upon it. I think that kind of makes sense. It gets us that iterative development style going, because I'm not sure about this list manager. May need a little bit of research. If someone wants to do that research, awesome. But just kind of my thought process on that. So we're going to say, good idea. And we will look at adding this to a future iteration. For the time being, we'll shoot for feature parity. All right. Here we go. We're trucking along now. Yeah, just keep them moving. Do I have any? This is what it's like when I write code. This is kind of the music that goes on. Hopefully you all can hear those sounds. I think I got everything set up right to where you can hear them. If you can't, please let me know, because then I just look like a crazy guy, which is not far from the truth either. But so, view announcements. I know that there's a meetup group also, which just either we create a process to add new announcements and push to the meetup group via the meetup API. Yes, I like connecting to services. I agree, Jeff. This is actually the best thing you want to do, is you want to connect to other services and let them do all that hard work. For this one, I think Sean had the idea of potentially pulling from Meetup. That way he would add them there, and we would just consume the stuff existing in Meetup. So let's go. Excellent idea. Pull from Meetup. So yeah, we're on the same page, Sean. I got to turn my notifications off when I do this. I think start going crazy. Excellent idea. For this task, we'll take the reverse approach and pull announcements from Meetup. One less page we have to create for a management page. Let's let Meetup do that. Let's change this. I like this thinking. I like where Jeff's going with all this stuff. If you're out there, you want to help, you want to join in on this conversation here. Put your ideas out there. What you think you might do in this situation. Let's get some conversations started around some of these. View meeting info. We got another. Again, do you want to integrate with Meetup for new meeting announcements? This is not necessarily for meeting announcements. Now, I don't know if we can grab this if this information exists in Meetup. Actually, it probably does. But not sure if we can grab it from there. Potentially. Again, one less management area where we want to do. Sean, I don't know what your take is on that. If you want to try and pull this information from Meetup, or if you just want it in like a JSON format where you can just go and update it on the website. Your call, man. I'm kind of leaning if we can get it from Meetup, go for it. Less work for you to have to go update. I think that's what kind of our goal here. If we can get this information from Meetup, let's do it. I think Jeff really wants to get up into this Meetup API stuff, which would be kind of cool. All right, as sponsor, view current leadership. I think we also, anyone with a vision as to how this page should look, please feel free to build it or post a wireframe. Awesome. Yes, if anybody's got some vision, some design skills, mine are kind of, I have great ideas. Getting them onto paper is where I tend to fall flat a little bit. They end up starting to look like stick figures, and end up looking like pages from the 1990s, 2000s. If anybody was on Stack Overflow on April 1st, those are the kind of pages where I would probably be designing, which is why I don't design things very much anymore. I wonder if you can get to it still. Let's look. They took it off. Oh, they had a tag. You go old school on there. Yeah, they took it off. Oh, it was beautiful. Let's see if we got an image. April 1, Stack Overflow. So.
Well, today is April.
Yeah, we're going to just mute you there. But go into Stack Overflow, you can see. That's where he gets. Where does he get to the good stuff here? Yep. This is what I started seeing. This was the kind of stuff. This was awesome. And see if you follow his mouse. If you see, I'll make this big screen for everybody so you can see. If you watch his mouse pointer go, you see the little trailing stars and all that kind of stuff. This is kind of what things would probably look like if you let me design it. We don't want that, do we? But that was awesome to see. It was awesome to go back to the old school days of web development. I know there's probably a lot of stakeholders out there be like, that is awesome, I want that. You don't want that. Not today. All right. Very cool. Let's get into what we're really here for. Let's look at some code now. All right. Again, if you missed the announcement, go get the latest version of Visual Studio 2019. It is out there. It is ready to go. It is live, out of preview, out of RC, into full production. All right. So let's get over here. Let's go check this out. Space dev dash stream.
Oh yeah!
By the way, I did get the sounds figured out. That seems a little loud on my part. I may have to turn my volume down. Yeah, those cool things you can put sounds with your build failures and successes. So when you hear the oh yeah, that means the build has succeeded. No? Oh yes, that's right. All right, so make sure I'm in. Let's see what we got going on here. Get status as always to check, see what have you changed, where are we at. So I did some work last time with some of the stuff that Jeff was doing. Let's see, we're not going to do that today. Maybe we will. Let's take a look. Let's see what we can grab and what we can start working on here. Let's go back to our browser here. Let's go back to our issues. What is something that we can get going and working on? So we got Jeff working on the sponsors page. Jeff also did the leadership. Was Jeff working on sponsors? I think so. Let's make sure. Did I need clarification? Jeff Johnson is going to be working on this. So let's pick another one here. Contact us. Let's do a little contact us widget. How do we? Let's look at doing that. Let's see. Let's assign this to me. There we go. All right. Let's come in here. I want to come back here real quick. See if I can't do this. No, looks like I may have to make them part of the team. I got to figure this assignee thing in GitHub out. So, so we're going to be working on the contact us piece. Basically, we're going to display links for Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn for the Tulsa.net user group. going to create our own little component to do that. So let's see. That's one thing I haven't looked at in Visual Studio 2019. Can I add a new component inside of? Because I don't want a page. I want to make a component, something that we can consume inside of a page. So let's see if we can add a new component here. Let's go to some web here. Razer page, Razer view. Nope. Razer component. Let's see everything we got with Razer. So we've got a Razer page. No. None of the new fun stuff. Of course, that's probably because we are using. Let me check one thing to make sure. So one thing, since we are using the preview, you need to make sure that you set up inside your, I think it's in .NET Core, to use the previews of the .NET Core SDK. If you want to help out, that's what you're going to have to check. Otherwise, it's going to try to use the latest release version of .NET Core, which is 2.2, I believe now. At least the last time I looked, it was. I've been using preview for so long, I'm not sure anymore. So, you know what? Even though we can't find the thing we want, what we can do, we can add just a plain old text file. And we can name it what we want. And we're going to call this the contact us.razer. So now we just get a plain text file. But you know what? That's really all a Razer file is. It's just going to be a set of HTML. So we can start out by putting some divs here. As well as we're going to need a function block. So I don't want that. Use this as our example so you can see the main layout.razer there. But if we look at our nav menu, we want this functions block. .NET Core 2.2 is current. It's not LTS yet. What is 2.1 LTS, Sean, or is 2.0 LTS? I don't remember. So what we want to do here, we want to add, because I don't know that we actually have anything inside that function. This is a pretty standard page. The only thing we would do is if we wanted to actually load this potentially from other, from an API or a file somewhere. All right. So now we have our div. Let's check out the contact us just to make sure it works. So we come over here. Let's go to some of our pages here. Let's go to our index page. You can see here now I get the contact us tag. One of the beautiful things of Razer is it's actually using the name of the file to know that it's a .razer. So it's going to be a component or a page. In terms, since we didn't define it as a page, it's a component. And then it puts that tag in there for us. Whoa. And so now if we build, get ready for it.
Oh yeah!
That's right. Get started. Turn my headset down here. And actually, was I doing? That's turning down my remote PC, I think. And I think we launched ourselves in Chrome here. Oh, and you can see there we go. We have our contact us component, which is what we defined right here. All right, so we got it. It's running. Good. So, come on. Start working with me here. All right, so we want to add Facebook. So a couple of things we need to do. Let's go find Facebook. Tulsa .NET user group. Get our links that we need. Tulsa.NET user group just for fun. Look at that. Look who we have here. We have Mr. Whitesell. Now that is a Reverend Geek, a David Neal exclusive. That's also who does, if you see my little character somewhere, he is awesome. 2.1 is LTS. Thank you, Sean. And then Miss Adrian Luna, who's business development over at Momentum 3. Then we can see we got some good stuff. You know, I posted onto I posted some stuff on Twitter. I'm gonna have to make sure I get over here and post some stuff over here on the Tulsa.NET user group website. Facebook Tulsa Developers Association. Okay, well, what is this then? Oh yeah, look at that, 2016. That is a little old, isn't it? Facebook Tulsa Developers Association. There it is. All right. Got our old logo. We're going to have to get that updated here. So that is going to be our link. And you know what? I think there's actually a way. Let's see. Add Facebook link to web page. Because my mind doesn't want to work today. There are easy ways to add links. How do I add a Facebook link to my website? Of course. Let's check one of these out. See what we got here. To create how to link to a Facebook page from there's a page and a group. Number to choose from. Yeah, there used to be. I swear there was an easy way to do this. Step 1, log in your account. Visit the Facebook badges page. Click the profile badge button. You can also choose a photo badge button to show off. Click the edit this badge link on the right. Follow the instructions to post your badge to your blog. Paste the code into the web page. That's what we want to do. Let's see. So this is logged in as me, of course. All right. Stop. I don't want advice. Log into your Facebook account. Visit the Facebook badges page. That's not what I want. This is probably what I want. That's the like button, but I want social plugins. Go to the source. Embed comment. I just want a link to the page right now. Code configurator. that's some cool stuff there, Facebook. Thank you for that. Check out the new tools, object visibility debugger, and API documentation resolver. Okay. So that's the page's URL. Let's see. The group plugin lets people join your Facebook group from a link in an email message or web page. The group plugin, use this code only in an email campaign software. Do not use the code provided in a message in an email client. Do not use this code in a web page. Thank you for letting us know that. That's not what we want. Share button, is that what we want? So the share button lets people add a personalized message to links before sharing on their timeline. That's not what we want either. Like, we don't want, I don't think we want the page plugin. So if it's that, cover photo. So this is actually using that. I've done this before, and I think all I did was just take the Facebook thing and just put an image on there and put a link on it. But you figure Facebook would have something that say, hey, I just want to put a like. Maybe it's just the like button. That way I can always have the updated image. I can do the like button. So there's that. Action type. Recommend. A single click on the like button will like pieces of content on the web and share them on Facebook. That's not what we want. This is going to do a lot more stuff than what we want to do just for this page. I may be overthinking this a little bit. All I want to do is I just want to use the latest from Facebook, the latest logo for them, and put it on our website. Save here. See, that's not. Let's try a little bit of searching here. That's the like button. This says the page plugin. But I think this may be more than what we want still. I wonder if there's a way once I get this code I can adapt it to show just very minimal stuff. All right, you know what? Let's try it out. Let's get the code here. So we got to put the JavaScript SDK in here. Place this code wherever you want the plugin to appear on your page. Just click the JavaScript SDK on your page once. Okay. So we're going to want to go to our index.cshtml. After the opening body tag. This is kind of where they wanted it. Okay. Let's take this here and we will drop that into our contact us page now. All right. So I'm going to have to format this. I wonder if I can. That's not what I wanted. It helped a little bit, but there's just too much stuff on here. Okay. All right, now let's run it, see what we got. I feel like this is going to be a little too much, but...
Oh, yeah!
Mm-hmm. It didn't quite work like what I was thinking it was going to. I wonder if I need this other piece. There's another piece of code here that I didn't put in here, which was this right here. So let's try that. Let's see if that gives us the kind of the look we were looking, because all it was showing us was actually just this piece. It's kind of ignoring all this other stuff. I may have to mute our Kool-Aid man. I'm going to be doing this a lot more. You close one, you close them both. I don't like that. It's okay, though. It's still not. We getting any errors? Let's look at that. No. So we have our Facebook root. try something here. And let's move this. I have a theory, small theory, that it has to do with how and when things are loaded. So let's look at this real quick. Place this code wherever you want the plugin to appear on your page. Ideally right after the opening body tag, which is where we put it. So we're going to put this right here. We're going to see if this affects it in any way. See if the fact that when it was trying to actually run that stuff, it couldn't find the tag it wanted, and it just didn't work. Everything. That's right. Okay. Okay, so it... I don't want all that anyways. I don't think we do. So that answers that question. Basically, this wasn't getting rendered. This was getting loaded, and this was looking for this pieces, which weren't loaded yet because this had not run when this was running. So, I wonder if we can. I don't think that's what we want to use anyways. I think I'm about down to the, just give me the little Facebook icon and I will just add an anchor tag inside my image, or add an image to an anchor tag, and we'll go that way. Facebook image. I like ping. What is the current Facebook logo? See, I would love to have. I wonder if Facebook has their images. Images can be included in. That's not what I want. I want their logo. That's what I want. See, this is what I want right here. Let's see what this is. Because this ultimately is what I want. Source. I wonder if I can steal this. Borrow. I'm not going to steal. We're going to borrow this element. We're going to borrow this element here and just incorporate it into our application. We never steal, we borrow. And the good thing to remember is if you do borrow something from somebody, do annotate that and note where you got the code from. So I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. I'm actually probably going to surround this with a div. Make this a little bit more readable, because I hate not being able to read all this. Really, that source is what I wanted it, because I want it to come from Facebook. My hope is that that's the same one that they always use. Oh, that's the style. And we're going to paste in our URL here. It's just, I have over here, I think, yes. Let's check it out.
Oh yeah!
Building, loading. Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? That's what I want. That's what Facebook needs to provide me, some way to generate just that little bit of code. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but getting this static, this information right here is key. You want to always be able to use the most current element that Facebook uses. That way, when they update their logo, you really don't have to update your website. It's kind of a twofold thing, actually, as well. If their CDN, whatever they're using, they change that, and then all your sites could break because of that. But if you're developing a something that you want consumed within other applications, or if you want people to be able to reference your page in your application, your site, on another page somewhere, give them an easy way to link to it, other than just copying over the HTML or the link and making their own anchor tag. Give them a way to get the correct logo. That way, when you change your brand, it's updated everywhere. It's just be kind. It's good community relations. All right, so we've got that one. What else did we have here? So let's go back to here. I want to look at, oh, come on. There we go. Twitter. This one I've used a little bit. Twitter, Tulsa Developers Association. Code for Tulsa. Okay, Tulsa Web Devs. I think it's Tulsa .Net user group here. Yeah, Tulsa DNUG. Yeah, this looks fairly recent. All right. Now, does Twitter's page, is it any better? Or am I going to borrow some more code? Let's look at Twitter's developer page. Or Google. Twitter link web page. Add Twitter link to web page. That's typically what we do. Add the tweet button to your tweet. We don't want to add the tweet button. We don't know we want to add a follow button. We want to add, let's look at this. Adding Twitter buttons to your website. Let's see. We want to add this page. Here's my display options. We would like get updates from someone on Twitter. I'm falling down on the job with PR stuff, announcements, emails, etc. Shame on me. Oh, you're doing fine, Sean. You are keeping up. It's, you know, when you do this stuff on the side and you do it for free, it's very hard to, and you have a full-time job on top of that, it's very hard to stay on top of some of this stuff. We're all good. We're learning, we're going. It's moving along. Slowly, but we're still moving. All right, get updates from see. That's not what I want. I would like this. I would like Twitter buttons. I don't want... Guess we could do this. Let's see what that looks like. Let's go add this to our page. I'm going to go ahead and put that on a new line. Add this here. Ooh, so they wanted to use a script, which is something Blazor doesn't like us to do. Blazor wants us to put scripts on the main page to be loaded once, which is somewhat frustrating. So let's try this. Let's see how this works. You love that? See, there you go. Build fade. You got the little goofy yell. All right. Would you like to continue with the last? No, I don't. What is wrong? The name Tulsa DNUG does not exist in the current context. Where did we mess up? Oh, yeah. So the @ symbol is a special character in Razer. So what we need to do is we need to, let's see, ASP.NET Razer use. There's a way to basically escape it. Use @ symbol in text. How do I escape the @ symbol? Double ats. Why not? You know, @ There we go.
Oh yeah.
There we go. So it did it there for a second, but then it reloaded. And then it... So, how do you handle that stuff? Let's look at that. So we're going to use the keyword Blazor here because Blazor is what these Razer components were. And there's a little bit more information on Blazor. Blazor reference script. So this is once you use the JavaScript interop. We don't want to use the interop. Add compiler error if there's a script. Hey, the Mike Jolly, welcome. Read the to-do list as Tulsa DNUG project and thought, wow, things are getting real in Tulsa. Yes, sir, they are. We're working. We're going to make this web page awesome, and we're going to use Blazor or Razer Components to do it. So we want to get some help. We definitely need the help of a designer because I don't design. My stuff looks like the Stack Overflow page from April 1st. Although some kids might like the trailing stars, a lot of adults don't. So, all right. Let's see what we got here. So we want to basically, in our Blazor, we want to look at using some scripts that, especially something that Twitter wants us to use if we want to use their component. And you know what? I'm actually going to try the Microsoft Docs first. So let's look at Razer Components. So this is creating using Razer Components. Let's look at this one right here. So this is still some older stuff because it's using the .cshtml. We're using the .razer syntax. Child component, child content. But what we want is basically our JavaScript to fire whenever the page has been fully rendered and loaded. And obviously we need it to refire when things get updated as well. Because I think that's what hit us there. because the component got loaded twice, and the JavaScript was loaded in between, and then when we loaded the component the second time around, it just reverted back to the anchor tag. So I know we can use the JavaScript interop to fire off JavaScript methods, but the thing is, this one happens whenever it's loaded. So I'm just looking for some way to be able to load JavaScript from inside a component and not just on the main page. And I'm not seeing what I want in this massive page here. All right, let's come over here real quick. Invoke JavaScript functions from .NET. So here's our script. Functions, convert to text, convert array. Okay, so let's may be able to do that. I need to see if there's specifically something inside the script. Basically, it's done when it loads it, which that's not cool. Let's follow this. Let's see if we can't look at it. Wow. Yeah, this makes my C# head go explode. All right, you know what, folks? We're going to do exactly the same thing we did with our Facebook page here. We're going to borrow the code. If you're a social media platform and you're listening to this by any reason, make it easy for us to embed just links to our pages using your latest image, your latest brand. Make our life so much easier. All right. I'm going to borrow this code here. Let's see, edit that east. No. Only thing I need to look and make sure I'm not doing is I'm not triggering any kind of insights, any click events, any click tracking that Facebook is potentially doing when I do stuff like this. Copy and paste is the best development technique to learn. It is, Mike. It is. It has served me well over the past 12 years. All right, data links. Yeah, see, it's got some Facebook analytics stuff going on here. I want to make sure I don't include in our site. I'm going to need to clean some of this up. Let's get rid of that. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that's stuff not what we want to do. And how to Google, so you're right. That's the only way I'm a senior developer, a senior engineer, lead engineer, is because I've learned how to Google just the right number of keywords and just quickly sort through all the information. One thing I heard whenever people are, let's change that href, in interviews here lately, is the fact that a lot of people, they're doing a lot of, how much do you know? How much you know? The problem is just because I know something doesn't mean I know how to use it. Things change so much. We have Google now, and nobody really has a library anymore. I know I don't. I don't have a library of books. Actually, I do have a library of books that I had in college. I've not gotten rid of them, but I also don't go reference them. I go straight to Google. Google saves so much time. Difference in senior and junior dev skills is quality of Google search. That is great. That's what you should do in an interview. Hey, tell me how to do this random topic. And you know what? Watch and see what they do. Watch them and see how they Google, how they can find their answers, how they come up with it. Not do they know it off the top of their head. I don't know that that's ever a good skill or a good way to judge somebody's technical skill. I totally agree, Mike. I'm on the same page with you there. Let's see. The Twitter page for Tulsa is that. Go and update. Let's see. Oh, wait, I did that. This is the old one. This is the one we borrowed from Facebook. We're borrowing Facebook CDN. I don't know how much they're going to like me doing that. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. We're just getting it to work here, getting it to look right. Then we can go change where we get our images from. All right. Man, I've got to get this. If my stream seems jumpy and all that kind of stuff, my apologies. Hey, that's not what I wanted. I've got this low latency thing turned on. I'm running on Wi-Fi. I've got some stuff coming in today from Amazon that I'm going to hopefully use to make a connection a little bit more solid, and hopefully make it the quality much better on here. So I can see my drop frame rates. I also blame it on OBS updates. This latest update seems to be a lot more CPU intensive. So, all right, why didn't it display this image? Let's rebuild. Oh, yeah. There we go. Well, that I heard that last time. I don't think it's rebuilding. So let's clean our solution here. One thing we had run into on this sometimes is the fact that it gets confused on when it needs to build and overwrite versus when it shouldn't. So let's start this up once again. Man, I'm going to have to come up with a different sound. There we go. Much better. Much, much better. We do have a little bit of styling to get these a little closer together, but we're getting there. So let's go back. Let's look at what else we got to add here. So we're doing this. We want LinkedIn next. We're going to go out on a limb, and maybe LinkedIn has their act together. My hopes are getting lower and lower, but let's check it out. LinkedIn, embed, not LinkedIn, add LinkedIn button to website. So again, I mean, that's kind of what we want right there, but we want LinkedIn to provide this for us using their stuff. Promoting your public profile. Let's see what this does. Create a personal URL, add a LinkedIn view profile button on you. On the public profile page, click Create a Public Profile Badge from the bottom of the right rail to get started. I don't know that it'll let me, an external entity, do that with the .NET user groups page, but let's check it out. Developers Association, LinkedIn. The Home Builders Association. Yeah, that's not right. Let's try something else. Tulsa.net user group. I guess the other thing I could do, I can go to our old site. TulsaDevelopers.net. I could probably grab it from there. Assuming it's on here. It might not be on here. Links. Ineta, no. Links archive. Social media. Where do we have any social media links on here? Potentially not. Okay, well, let's look here. Yeah, I don't see any social media on here. And that's okay. That's all right. LinkedIn, Tulsa, DNUG. Let's search that. Tulsa.net. I don't want jobs. I want .NET user group. LinkedIn. Mr. Whitesell paging Sean Whitesell. If you are in the chat room, can you please provide me a link to the Tulsa user group's LinkedIn page? Thank you. Right. That's not that one. Well, let's go here. Let's see if by any chance that's here. So this is our page. That's, oh, wait, there it is. I think this is it. Yes. Oh, hey, I don't. So I am on LinkedIn. There it is there. Thank you, sir. All right. Copy this out of the chat. Wants me to log in. I'm already on LinkedIn. Let's do a quick verification of you, Ryan. To finish signing in, please enter the verification code we sent you. Why did you send it to my email address? It's like the last place I'm going to look for that. All right, so, well, that worked. Tulsa.net. Maybe it's because it's an unlisted group. Maybe. That's why I couldn't Google it and find it. It's unlisted. So, Sean, with it being unlisted, do you want to put it on the homepage? I'm guessing you do. Let's go back here. Let's see, is there a way to... be linked to group, which I think is probably just the same thing I've got here. Yep. Sure, I'll work on listing later session. Just wanted to verify. Thank you, sir. I want to make sure I don't do something that exposes something we don't want out there. So this is telling me to promoting your public profile. Yeah, we're gonna borrow again. I'm in the borrowing mood today. So I need to paste some code real quick. Gonna have another anchor tag here. Love IntelliSense. One thing I've got to do is get the what is that new IntelliSense that they've got out there? I knew it, but it makes it smarter and lists things in a more uses machine learning to figure out what you may want to type and puts that into your suggestions. IntelliCode, that's what it is. It's a plugin, I believe you add to. It's an extension you add to Visual Studio 2019. So it's something I'm gonna have to get put on here. All right, so got that. Now we're going to borrow this code here. All right, okay. All right, let's run this page. Build it. If you build it, they will come. I have to get that. That'd be a good one. Little Field of Dreams sound here. Have anything good here? Well, that didn't work. My guess is I need to clean the site and rebuild it. Let's do that. Clean. Oh yeah. And let's get one oh yeah in here. One more. Oh yeah. There we go. We've got our LinkedIn. We've got our basically our contact us information here. So let's stop there. Let's go. We want to actually our index.razor. So this is actually is going to belong. I wonder, can I include it as part of the main layout here? So there's that. Let's put it down here at the bottom. Let's start this up again. Oh yeah. Then let's come back here. This is the annoying part, having to clean then rebuild. Yeah. This is my Blazor people, we've got to figure this part out because this is especially when I've got sound effects. We're going to have to find a way to mute the sound here. Can I mute from here? Yeah, we're just going to mute that. That should prevent the sound from working. All right, there we go. So now it's at the bottom. It's actually at the footer. So as we start adding things, this is going to be at the base, the bottom of our page, and it's just going to work its way down. We're going to add, I'm probably going to go ahead and we'll wrap up here today. So we got this. We got our Tulsa DNUG code here going. I'm not going to commit and push today just yet. I think I'm going to add a little bit of styling to this, maybe a black bar or something at the bottom of it. And then we'll get that checked in. So For you that don't know, I'm actually going to be streaming for the next 2 days. This Twitch affiliate thing is just like hanging right over my head. I'm actually, the only thing I'm short on is getting more streaming days in. And so if I do these next 2 days, which is going to be some shorter streams, 12 to 1 typically, because I actually do have some back-to-back meetings. But we're going to get this in. We're going to get these extra days in, get that Twitch affiliate status, and start letting my followers here work on or get some access to some cool emotes that I've got commissioned to get built for me. So we can start adding some developers garage stuff into our chats. So join me tomorrow, same time, same dev time, same garage channel, 12 p.m. Central Time, 12 to 1 typically, Thursday and Friday. I look forward to seeing everybody there. And I thought I had an outro to go to today, but you know what, folks? Oh, I do. Where'd it go? Not that one. I gotta get better organized with my sounds here. Is it there? No. Man. Oh, well. I guess... Oh, there it is. Nope. All right, folks. Oh, yep, here we go. And, folks, thank you, and we're out of here.